All right, sorry it took me a while to get back to you on reviewing the self-assessment. I'm really excited about the progress that you made and also in preparation for your spring full accreditation visit. And instead of me going through and making comments, I thought I'd make you a quick video and go over some of the main points of areas that I think you can tighten things down on and also strengthen. And also, it might be good if we got onto another video conference and talk about some of these different areas. But overall, I'm very impressed with the work that you've done and just wanted to go over a few different things on this. So first of all, as I scroll down, you did a nice job at the very beginning at kind of outlining things that you've done. You'll want to add some more of your committee meeting information because you'll continue to meet and discuss things. Because I think this is just a start, but again, you've done a very nice job of making a start. So items of evidence, any of the items of evidence, whether it's here, these required items of evidence or the items of evidence after every indicator, you can show it. You'll provide it in a format like this where each standard has its own little box, and then each indicator has a little file folder. So the self-assessment is mainly just going through rating what status you are for each indicator, giving a few comments like you did here, a paragraph. You don't need to write anything down here, but just some items of evidence. And the items of evidence that you actually select here are the ones that you will provide in these different binder, in these different boxes, and then in each one of these different folders. So I would recommend that you start putting these together. And I also recommend that you keep these boxes with these different indicators in there continuously, so you can, as you meet as an improvement team regularly, you can update these items of evidence. It's kind of like a portfolio showing the improvement that the school has, the great things that are going on, and just overall tracking the progress that you are making. A couple comments. I highlighted some of these different items. The first one is you want to look at your vision statement. It's a very long vision statement. You want your vision statement to be concise and something that people can easily remember. They're typically one, maybe two sentences long. And I would say the same thing about your mission statement. In my email to you, I'll recommend a book and maybe some other items that you can use. But I would recommend that you review your vision and mission statement and update it with your stakeholders. And I'll talk about stakeholders here in just a second. So I will continue scrolling down until I see some of the thoughts, the highlighted areas. With the mission development and review, one thing, you did a very nice job of outlining how it was developed. Now you need to talk about how it's reviewed. And usually a mission statement is reviewed every year. Now your vision statement, once you set your vision statement, that's something that you're looking at 10 years down the line. So it doesn't need to be reviewed and updated, but your mission statement should be reviewed and updated by stakeholders. And I think there was some confusion about what a stakeholder is further down in this self-assessment. A stakeholder is anyone who's associated with the school. It's not one of the owners. It's not the board of directors. Stakeholder is an administrator, a teacher, a parent, a student, community members. Those are all stakeholders, because a stakeholder is anyone that the school affects or is involved in. So again, it's community members, parents, teachers, administration, board of directors. All those different people are stakeholders. So I would recommend that you come up with a process to review your mission statement. Maybe every year you review that as a staff, talk about it with your parents, and then have your administration and your board approve it. And every now and again, you'll want to change a few things in your mission statement to kind of redirect the school towards its vision. So let me keep scrolling down a little bit. Now, mission use. Looks like you gave yourself a 5, but it's something that it looks like you want to improve on. It's not just instructional programs, but it's school activities, community outreach. the mission statement should be guiding these different types of areas, and you'll want to be able to show how it's done. Measurement of the mission statement, too, I think that's fair. It's hard to measure the mission statement. One thing that we recommend to schools is developing a rubric, some way that you can measure how the mission statement is being implemented. So as you revise and update your mission statement, you want to develop a concise rubric that will allow you to measure how well the mission statement is getting implemented. And that can be part of the review process every year, like it says up here in Standard 1.4, where you will use that rubric to measure the mission statement. And if you need to change it from that measurement, that's something that you can do. All right, moving on to Standard 2. Standard 2 is kind of the heart and soul of a lot of things that we do. Standards-based, I think there might have been some confusion there. A standards-based is what kind of standards are you utilizing? I know with some of your courses, probably your social studies and your Kurdish, you're using the Ministry of Education, but which standards are you using for your mathematics, for your language arts, and any other subject areas? Are you using the Common Core state standards? If you are using Common Core state standards, which standards are you using? Are you using the general standards, or are you using the New York standards or California standards? And I can help you out on that if you have any questions, and be happy to help out. Curriculum design, I think there might have been some confusion here too. So your curriculum is composed of your scope and sequence, which I'll address here in just a minute, your pacing guides, your lesson plans. What kind of format do you have that in? I will give you an example in the email that I send you in just a few minutes. Scope and sequence, rated yourself a 2. I think that might be fair. Scope and a sequence, make sure you understand what that is and how to develop that. So a scope is what you want a student to know at the completion of a program. If the school goes up to grade 12, usually the scope, what you look at is what you want a student to know upon graduation. And the sequence is moving backwards from graduation down to kindergarten. What do you want them to know at grade 12? That's the scope. The sequence is what do you want them to know at 11? What do you want them to know at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and kindergarten? Are you making sure that from kindergarten all the way up to grade 12, they're learning what they need to be learning from grade level to grade level? And so if you have questions about that, I'd be happy to help you out with that too. So curriculum adoption and review, it's under progress. One of the first things that we recommend is that a school develop some kind of a policy and a plan to review the curriculum. A lot of schools like to review and adopt the curriculum every 5 years, where they do a major review. Sometimes schools like to do a minor review every year and then a major review every 5 years. And that's making sure that the scope and sequence is in place, the pacing guides are in place, the lesson plans are in place, and then the textbooks and other instructional materials are in place that you need to purchase. And that's why the purchasing is done about every 5 years. So again, I can help you on that area if need be. Sorry, I'm going a little bit fast, but I want to make sure I'm getting to all the different areas in a short period of time. The student assessment 2.13, I see that you have an entry-level exam where students, when they come into the school, take an exam. You'll want to see if you have end-of-course knowledge. So a lot of schools like to do the beginning of the year test and end-of-course exam, so you can track and see the student's progress from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. And then if there's not enough progress or you want to see more progress, you evaluate that assessment data and you make some changes in your curriculum or in your instructional practices. External assessment, I think Mr. Bashdar was talking to me about that, about adopting a specific external assessment that you can utilize to compare your students' progress to other students throughout the region, the country, and the world. And so he's working on that, and it would be great to utilize the same one that the rest of the Azanas schools are using.